So this is day 3. Walked up through that pass from Patterdale, and we've walked up this crag here. I've got a couple of people with me today. I've got Dan, who's director of Hope UK, and Matty, who's a Pay's apprentice, who's doing some videoing. And we're going over those fells. Eventually, probably somewhere over there in the far distance. So I've got a bit of a story to tell. 27 years ago when I came here, I gave up at this spot, essentially. I'd been walking through the coast to coast. I was absolutely physically exhausted, and I got to this place, and I'm pretty sure it was this place. There was it was a B&B place 27 years ago, and I stayed the night there, and I had a real, like, you know, people talk about wrestling with God. That's what happened for me, because 20 odd years ago, talk about 10 years before I did this, I really had this kind of wrestle with God about, you know, would I serve God even if it meant like not getting married? Would I serve God even if it meant travelling, which I didn't particularly like doing? And I felt like I got through that test like 10 years previously. And then I was reading a book called Intercessor about a guy called Rosthwaite, and in that book it talks about him again, you know, being challenged by God to travel, and he realised he had to travel and be away from home in order to do what he needed to do. And so that fresh challenge came, and I thought, oh, I did that test 10 years ago, I'm fine, you know, I figured that out. And then I realised, wow, I don't know if I could be away from Lynn. I was so depressed being away from Lynn, and a lot of that was just due to the physical exhaustion, just really making me very emotional. And so I kind of wrestled with God again. God, it was like God asking me a question. You know, I know 10 years ago you said yes, but do you still say yes to me? And that whole, you know, do you still say yes, was really, really tough. And so I basically, I'd given up, not the walk, but I'd given up the trip, and I just had to stay in this Airbnb, and I had that night where I just kind of wrestled with God. And the next day I carried on up this path to Patterdale. So today I feel so much better. Feel fit, feel good. Obviously it's got such good news now. You know, I didn't know 27 years ago, I didn't know where all this was leading. Now I look back on 27 years, it was just amazing what God has done. It's just been phenomenal. And so now I'm looking back with joy rather than looking ahead with a little bit of trepidation. And so there's a little lesson in there that I think is really important for people, particularly COVID. I'm going to mention it in today's day 3, 60-second lesson. So yeah, because I think it's pretty important. I think a lot of people are making some bad decisions right now due to the whole COVID thing. So I'm going to just kind of mention something kind of linked to this story there. So hopefully it's helpful. So with Dan Randall, Dan came on Pace many years ago as a team member, a team leader, rose through the ranks, came on the directorship team in GB, and then started with Hope UK, and you guys are getting involved in the Thru-Hike as well, aren't you, mate? So
yeah, really exciting. So this year we're doing a year of prayer walking in 2021. So Thru-Hike for Schools is one of the initiatives that we're celebrating and partnering with. It's a privilege to be on it today.
Yep, and how are you finding the hike so far?
Yeah, good. It's been fair high.
Yeah, but it's been good. But it's good to have you, mate, and really love the fact that you guys have been helping to profile the Thru-Hike and stuff. And I know you guys hold prayer and prayer for schools generally high in regard, and it's a high value to you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, and supporting the National Day of Prayer for Schools later in the year as well, which Pace are leading on. So yeah, real privilege to be here today with you, mate. Good to hang out, and good to be part of this.
Cool. Okay, my 60-second lesson talks about personal triumph. If you want to look at my blog for today, something pretty crazy happened 25 years ago to me. Really had a struggle, felt very depressed, very, very, very down on the trip for reasons I go into. And then just looking back at that, not knowing what was going to come 25 years ago, and I'm seeing the amazing things that have happened. reminds me, because I was almost going to give up on the trail 25 years ago on this bit of the leg, was just never cut down a tree in winter time. So in winter time you look at a tree and it looks really dead, but there's always life underneath. So never make a big decision when things are bleak. I think one of the things that people have done that might be a mistake perhaps is a lot of people have made some really big decisions during COVID based on this idea of a new normal. I don't know, I'm not sure there's a new normal. I think there's a new season, and I think every season leaves its mark. But I would recommend don't make any big decisions during this period. Wait to find out what the new normal really is like, because it may not be as dramatically different as we think it has been. I think a lot of people have found things very difficult and they've kind of dropped their vision and their calling. I just really encourage you, from my perspective, 25 years ago things looked really bleak. I was about to finish the trip, never knew what was going to lie ahead, and I'm so glad I didn't. So that's my little thought. Don't cut down a tree. I heard somebody say this once, I'm not sure who it was, but a great bit of advice: don't cut down a tree in winter time. Don't make big decisions when things are bad. Wait for them to get normal, proper normal, and then make decisions.